Growing up, I always felt like I stood out from the rest of my family. My name's Jenny, and I come from a long line of restaurant owners. My dad, Joe, is a big, loud man who manages our family restaurant with strict authority, while my mom, Linda, is his perfect partner, tirelessly handling the staff. Then there's my older brother, Mike, the golden boy groomed to inherit the business. I remember one evening at the dinner table, surrounded by the savory scent of Dad's famous roast. Mom was excitedly discussing a new recipe they were experimenting with. She turned to me, her eyes gleaming, asking about a particular herb she knew I liked. I hesitated, mumbling my response, while Mike interjected, his mouth full, dismissing the herb in favor of talking about the new grill for the restaurant. Dad's attention shifted to me, asking when I would show more interest in the restaurant. Feeling small, I mentioned my love for being outdoors with plants, only to receive disapproval from my family, who insisted on a real job. Grandma Rose was my sanctuary. She lived in a quaint house surrounded by a beautiful garden. Unlike my parents, she understood me, offering solace and wisdom. One day, as we worked in her garden, I expressed my frustrations to her, seeking understanding. With a gentle smile, she reassured me, reminding me of the magic in nature and the importance of embracing my differences. Despite Grandma Rose's words of encouragement, the pressure from my family persisted. Mike would taunt me, mocking my passion for gardening. But I held on to Grandma Rose's wisdom, finding strength in her belief that it's okay to be different. I knew they didn't understand. They couldn't see the beauty in a single leaf or the tranquility in a morning dew. But I did. I felt like I belonged in those moments of my hands in the soil. High school graduation felt like standing at a crossroads. I, Jenny, was about to take the road less traveled by my family. The house buzzed with excitement over Mike's plans to join Dad at the restaurant. Amidst it all, I felt like a spectator in my own life. One evening, gathered in the living room, Dad was discussing expanding the restaurant, his eyes gleaming with ambition. He praised Mike, envisioning him at the heart of it all. As Dad spoke, I sat quietly, feeling invisible. Then Mom's sharp voice snapped me out of my reverie. "And what about you, Jenny? Ready to step up?" I took a deep breath. It was now or never. "I'm not going to work at the restaurant. I'm going to study landscape design," I said, my voice barely audible. The room fell silent. Dad's face flushed red with anger. "Landscape what now?" he barked. "That's no career for you. You're a part of this family, and the restaurant is our legacy." Mike snickered, mocking my choice. "What are you going to do? Plant flowers for a living?" My cheeks burned with embarrassment. "Yes, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm good at it, and I love it," I retorted. Mom's expression revealed a mix of confusion and worry. "Jenny, be sensible. You can't make a living off playing in the dirt." Standing up, I felt a surge of defiance. "It's not just playing in the dirt, Mom. It's creating something beautiful, something real. I'm not asking for your approval." "But I am telling you, this is my decision," I asserted. Dad slammed his hand on the table, his voice booming. "If you choose this foolishness, you're on your own. Don't expect any help from us." I felt a knot in my stomach, but my voice remained steady. "Fine, I'll do it on my own." Grandma Rose, who had been quietly knitting in the corner, finally spoke. Her voice was calm but carried weight. "Joe, let the girl follow her heart. She's got a gift, and it would be a sin to waste it," she said, her eyes fixed on Dad. Dad let out a frustrated grunt, turning away. "Fine, do what you want, but don't come crying to us when it all falls apart." I turned to leave the room, my heart pounding. Mike called out after me, his voice dripping with sarcasm. "Good luck, gardener. Let's see how far those flowers get you." Stepping into college life felt like diving into deep water. It was thrilling yet daunting. I, Jenny, was far from the familiar paths of my family's expectations, ready to carve my way in the world of landscape design. I still remember the buzz of the first day in class, the room swirling with the energy of eager students. I found a spot in the back, trying to shrink into the shadows. That's when Zoe, a girl with fire engine red hair and eyes full of mischief, dropped into the seat next to me. "Hey there, newbie. I'm Zoe, a first-timer in landscape design." I gave a shy nod. "Yeah, I'm Jenny. It's all a bit overwhelming." Zoe's laugh was loud and genuine. "You'll fit right in. Wait till you get your hands into the real dirt. It's epic. What dragged you into this world?" I hesitated, the memory of my family's disapproval still fresh. "I've always loved plants, the outdoors. It's where I feel right, you know." Her grin widened. "Perfect place for you then." Classes were a whirlwind of learning and creating. I was absorbing things like a sponge, from the science of soils to the art of design. I was finally speaking a language I loved. After one particularly intense session, Mr. Davidson, our professor, a man as tall and sturdy as an oak, called me over. "Jenny, your designs, there's something else. You've got a real knack for this," he said, his voice serious but encouraging. I was stunned. "Really? Thank you, Mr. Davidson. I'm just trying to do my best." He leaned forward, his eyes piercing. "There's potential in you. Don't let it go to waste. Push harder." His words became my mantra. I started to live in the studio, my designs becoming more ambitious and more expressive. It was exhausting but exhilarating. In moments of joy, there's a part of me that still longs for my family. One quiet evening, I mustered the courage to call home. The phone rang, each tone heavy with anticipation, until finally, Mom's voice broke through sharp and cutting. "What do you want?" she snapped. Her tone stung, but I persisted. "I just wanted to check in and see how everyone is." She snorted with scorn. "Oh, now you care, after running off to play in the dirt, abandoning your own family." I clenched my teeth, struggling to keep my voice steady. "I didn't abandon anyone, Mom. I just chose a different path." Her laugh was bitter. "A dead-end path, you mean? Don't expect us to be here waiting when it all crumbles around you." The call ended bitterly, leaving a sour taste in my mouth, but it also ignited a fire within me. I plunged back into my work with renewed determination, eager to prove not just to my family, but to myself that I was on the right path. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, and mine came during my final year of college in the form of a phone call from Aunt Clara, my mom's sister. Her voice shook with emotion as she delivered the news of Grandma Rose's passing. Grandma Rose had been my rock, the one person who believed in my dreams. Losing her felt like losing a part of myself. The funeral was solemn, and my family seemed like strangers to me. Afterward, I overheard Mom discussing Grandma's decision to leave her house to me. Their disapproving whispers cut through me like thorns. "Why would she leave it to Jenny? She's never around anyway," Mike muttered. Dad's expression was thunderous. "This is ridiculous. That house could have been sold, put money into the restaurant." I stood up, my voice steady but firm. "Grandma knew I loved that house, that garden. I'm going to keep it, just as she wanted." Mom's response was cold and harsh. "So you're just going to live there alone, playing in the dirt? What a waste." Their words stung, but I remained resolute in my decision to honor Grandma's legacy. But I had made up my mind. I moved into Grandma's house, immersing myself in the garden she had loved so dearly. I started renovating the place, pouring my heart into every plant and every flower bed. As the months passed, I transformed Grandma's garden into something truly special. It became my sanctuary, a place where I could be myself, away from the judgment and expectations of my family. The day the invitation to Mike's wedding arrived at my doorstep was a day of mixed feelings. It was a fancy piece of paper with golden letters against a white background, representing a part of my life I had left behind. Staring at it, I felt a storm of emotions churning inside me. I decided to go, but on my own terms. I dressed in a way that felt true to me, elegant but simple, a far cry from the dirt-stained clothes they remembered. Entering the restaurant, the sights and sounds of my past life engulfed me. I spotted my family across the room, Mom, Dad, and Mike, all decked out, looking like a picture-perfect family. I braced myself and walked over. "Jenny, I didn't think you'd accept the invitation." Mom's voice was sharp, cutting through the noise. "I came to see Mike get married. It's a family event, isn't it?" I replied, trying to keep my voice level. Mike glanced at me, his smirk familiar and unwelcome. "What's the matter?" Ran out of bushes to trim. Decided to play dress up for a change. I felt a familiar sting, but I brushed it off. "I'm just here to wish you well, Mike." It was then that his bride, a tall woman with a haughty look, chimed in. "Oh, this is the infamous gardener's sister. Did you manage to scrub the dirt from under your nails, dear? Or is it your natural look?" Her words, sharp and mocking, hung in the air. I clenched my jaw, refusing to let her see how deep they cut. "I clean up just fine, thanks for asking. Congratulations to you both." Dad's eyes were cold, his voice colder. "Your being here doesn't erase the past, Jenny. You chose your path." Their words were like thorns, but I had grown a thick skin. I'm not here to rehash old arguments. Just wanted to wish Mike a happy married life. I was quickly ushered to a small table in the corner, away from the family. Sitting there, I could feel the curious stares and hushed whispers. "That's the gardener," they whispered, "the black sheep of the family." But as I sat there, a sense of pride welled up in me. Yes, I was the gardener, the one who had dared to follow her path. I was no longer the shy, unsure girl they remembered, but a woman who had found her strength, who had bloomed despite them. My discomfort only grew as the evening stretched on. Sipping my drink, I tried to make myself invisible, but that plan fell apart when I caught the eye of some guys I knew from childhood, Mike's friends, the same ones who used to join him in mocking me. "Look who's here, the family's little dirt digger," one of them, Jake, sneered as they approached, a sneer plastered on his face. I took a deep breath, steeling myself. "It's landscape designer, but I wouldn't expect you to understand the difference." Their laughter was harsh, grating. "Oh, listen to her. Thinks she's all high and mighty now," Chris added with a scoff. I bit back a sharp retort, my hands clenching under the table. I've worked hard for my success. My job is more than just